Go. Welcome, Krishna. Everyone, come on. Welcome. Krishna. Karisma, sorry. I've asked you to see Coriolanus, to read Oedipus.
I read the Oedipus.
Cool. And I just showed studio audience the iPad with the, I think I can show them. This is fun. With the Erasma device, which, oh, here she is here. Let's see if it works this way. I think it should. Not?
No.
Am I into it? 1, 2, 3. It's struggling. Maybe it's not on after unplugging. Anyway, we loaded this, what's called augmented reality. Aren't plays a sort of a low-tech form of augmented reality?
Sort of.
How so?
I don't know, maybe because they happen in real life too.
Maybe they happen in real life. You're American Indian or Indian?
Just Indian.
Indian. Okay, so knowing that, I know that you've probably read or seen the whole of the Mahabharata, right? You're Hindu, right? Okay. The Mahabharata, for those of you who don't know, who knows it? You probably read the whole thing. You read it or saw it?
Saw it.
On TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a soap opera, right?
It was, not anymore.
But it lasts like, how long? How many episodes was it?
A lot of them.
20, 30, right?
No, more than that.
More than that.
Yeah, because it's.
Who else is Indian? Who saw it? You saw it all, right? Was it fun? Were you invested in it? Was it boring? Your parents say, "Oh no, you should read this." I mean, you should see it.
It's fun if it's short.
If it's short.
But you don't get the details if it's short because it's a long epic, right? It's like
Yeah, full of war and famine and love and eros and what else is? What give us, Karisma? Give us an Indians who read it. Any non-Indians who read it? Peter Brook did a very important version of it. It was kind of fun at BAM like 20 years ago. He did a stage version of it that lasted 12 hours on stage. So certain characters. It's give us an overview for the people. What is the Mahabharata?
It's sort of a fight between the two cousins, like
who are gods or
yeah.
deities, right?
No, they're not deities. They're just normal people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's about like getting the evil out of the world. So
it's not like in the West we think, okay, one's good and one's evil. It's not like that, right?
No, it's not like that. It's like it's sort of like that. It's sort of not like that. It's like.
Well, one side is not mostly evil. That's like.
Yeah, it's not mostly evil, but it's like one person that's evil, and you have to like stick to it because you're like uncles and everything, and the other side is really nice.
Family ties.
Yeah.
What else? Name again. Darshan. What else about it? You liked it. Come on.
Yeah.
Your parents liked that you liked it. You did like it too. You saw it?
I read it
For class. You're Indian American, right?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Sri Lankan. You got their own what do they call these core mythology or core religious documents? Like you guys who grew up Christian here, it's the Bible, right? So who's read the Bible? Who saw the big Charlton Heston on TV? What was that? No, that was called Moses or the Ten Commandments on TV. Who's seen it? Y'all seen it where he parts the sea and does that. This is same thing with Mahabharata. Darshan, what if you had to give people who haven't read it 2 or 3 sentences about it, what would you say?
Well, it takes the story and teaches you moral values.
Cool, which most of the dramas I'm having you read are supposed to do it. But isn't morality like a hindrance? Good and bad? Come on. Who's read Nietzsche here? No one. Dude, that's a dude. Nietzsche says that God is dead. There's no such thing as good or evil. It's just what we subscribe to. He's a relativist, and he's almost a nihilist, saying there is no meaning. It's good, fun stuff. Every teenage person has read Nietzsche somewhere along the line. Go like, oh yeah, my mom pisses me off. I'm going to go read some Nietzsche, stuff like that. Name. Why is morality a hindrance?
Um, well, like you said, it could be good or bad. Like, I mean, I've read stories where it's like, it gives you, well, in my opinion, bad morals.
Bad morals. Darshan, how would you compare? Did you see the latest Batman? Not yet. What kind of Western or American blockbuster film have you seen of late?
Avengers.
What is it?
Avengers.
Avengers. How would you compare the Mahabharata to the Avengers?
Well, in a way, it's similar that the groups in both the stories want to protect the innocent, but in a way, of the good people, there are some evil ones. They don't want. I mean, they don't want to harm other people, but it's just that they have.
In the cosmic scale, you've read the Mahabharata, right? Or seen it on TV. Who's Indian American here? Grew up in the New York or the state or whatever. Anyone? No. I was just wondering if your parents say, "Oh, now you're in the States, you don't have to read that," or whatever. It's like whatever. Who would say? Would you say Hitler was just misinformed, or was he truly evil? Let's knock around Hitler for a little bit. Everyone knows who AH was, right? Adolf Hitler, right? The biggest demon of the 20th century. Been plenty other demons. We would say, would you say, name again?
Yes.
Would you say he was misinformed, or was he truly evil? He knew what he was doing. But in the scale, in the cosmology in the Mahabharata, he would kind of be misinformed, right? He would come out of the context and say, that's a bad dude, man. He said, no. Look at the context he grew up with. Name. Ashley. Couldn't we say, Hitler was a bastard, he didn't know his father, he was raised by his mother, he had some pretty screwed up early childhood thing. Oh, he wanted to get into Vienna art school and he didn't. Couldn't we say, if we're a family psychiatrist, we're going to say, oh, poor little Adolf, 20 million dead. Oh, there was a reason for that. Would we say that now in our PC version, Ashley?
Well, my family's from Poland, so I don't think I should say that.
He roared right through there. Were they there then? When Adolf did it, and they survived, right? Tough. And do they like to talk about it, or are they not?
I guess, yeah.
What city were they in?
Well,
Grodzki is close to Krakow. Yeah, beautiful country. I love it. I went to Krakow to give a talk, and then I had a taxi driver take me out to Auschwitz. Are there things, you know what Auschwitz is?
Yeah, the concentration camp.
Pretty evil place. Yeah, every inch of it makes you shudder. Especially if you go to this one pond behind the crematorium and you realize 1.3 million people are buried in this pond. Unbelievable. But that's only one concentration. I've been to the one in Cambodia. Pol Pot's concentration. You say, Professor, you're a concentration camp freak. He's like, it teaches me things. Space teaches me things. What is the space of the Mahabharata? Where does it happen?
The battlefield.
The battlefield.
That's the most important part.
The battlefield is the most important thing. Do we name David? We've bred our men to be filled with testosterone to protect our tribe, right? Our men will kill if they have to, right? Because the alternative of that doesn't exist, right? They've kind of been wiped out, right? So to see an ancient classic, or you look at Oedipus, he killed his father in the middle of this crossroad, right? That's pretty drastic. And then Freud kind of said that, this is symbolic, what he wanted to do. What if it's real? What if it's a martial thing? That guy pisses me off. I feel this surge of testosterone. I'm going to take out this Glock and then put a cap in him.
That's very drastic. That's incredible.
Yeah. So what? Han, name. Dan. What about? Karisma said that the context, wouldn't you say the major context of the Mahabharata, more often than not, takes place on a battlefield,
Mhm.
right? And it's a conflict between cousins, right? So they're family in the sense of saying, we're all family here. One of the great Korean stories is kind of the Korean Robin Hood. What's his name? Gon. What's his name? Hong Yil-dang. I know. He's a good guy, right? Because he steals from the rich and gives to the poor, right? How does that teach contemporary? How did that myth help contemporary Korea crawl out from under the 50 years of the Japanese, crawl out from a war that killed 3 million people, crawl out of this whole existence of being divided country for 60 years after that? How is that myth still important in Korea?
Well, that has nothing to do with all the Japanese thing, 'cause it was made before that.
Well, I know that. Don't think of chronology, but people...
Alright, but then I guess there's always, will be a hero helping the poor, even when the country's in danger or something.
So Indians, is there an aspect of that we want to get away from our Nietzsche, like, oh, guys, you'll never get over your debt. You might as well roll over and you might as well not get out of bed this morning. You know, there's no place for that, right? Because is there a place in the Mahabharata where the poor are uplifted?
No.
No. Whoops. they just die on the battlefield, right? Yeah? Well, what are the masses of people seeing this on TV in India? What do they feel reinvested by seeing this again?
They're mostly influenced by the Bhagavad Gita that comes in the middle.
Bhagavad Gita, right. And why is that special in the middle? Why is that
It tells you how to live, you know. It tells
the
you you're not
Bhagavad
supposed to
Gita.
be selfish, and it's like
Well,
it's simple to follow. So.
There it inverses the thing. It inverses it, saying, don't be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Think of your community. Think of your family.
Don't just work hard. Don't think about the fruits and everything. Just work hard. Don't be like, oh, I want an A minus, and blah 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 blah.
Who's Chinese in this class? Chinese American or Chinese? Confucius. Important figure, right? Extremely. The whole country runs by that. You know, it's people say, oh, China is the biggest atheist country on the face of the earth. It's got Confucius, right? And how is Confucius still living in China? His thought, his thinking. It's the same thing. Don't be selfish. Think of the community. The whole aspect in Korea too is a hugely Confucian culture, right? They try and hide it, but it's like there it is. And I would even say Japan. They really try and hide it, but there you go. And just your preference for taking tests and the whole idea of like you embody this knowledge, the whole idea. What I like in Korea, is apart from Japan, I lived in Japan, is that the scholarly class was the top order, right? The warrior caste was down here, right? And the academics, like me, are up high. Business people here, blah blah blah. They rearranged their values, and you guys are invested with new values, right? You're remaking it all along the way. How do you think the Mahabharata has affected your life, Karisma? How old were you when you saw it?
I don't know, I was in 4th grade maybe.
Were you like this? Oh, Mom, this is great.
It was fun. It was fun.
They did it in a good way.
Yeah.
Like Bollywood, or they do?
No. Better than Bollywood.
Better than
Bollywood's all
Bollywood.
masala, so it's all about the spice and everything.
Okay.
But not really.
How did it affect your life? Name again, sorry.
Darshan?
Darshan.
Well, it tells you to not to think about everyone before you do something to yourself.
Okay. Americans, who's read Huck Finn? Come on, raise a hand. Who's read Huck Finn? Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Americans, you had to read that in 9th grade, right? 8th grade, right? How did that affect your life? What's the core issue of that? Little morality. I'm trying to get back to the Americans. We're a young country, dudes. And we're supposedly a diverse country. And everyone like me is trying to figure out what do we give these people to make them diverse and yet glue them together. Huck Finn came the closest or not?
I didn't read it, but I'm going to say not.
Why not?
Uh,
You didn't read it? Who read Huck Finn? You read Huck Finn? What's the core issue? Just like Confucius, the Bhagavad Gita, the Robin Hood, what is the core issue in Huck Finn? Very explicit. There's a river. He's going down the river with Jim, the escaped black slave. What's the issue? In their trip, their journey, yes, satire, they reverse it. But there's important, Huck says, I'm a felon. I'm helping this slave escape. I could be arrested. But F it all. He goes on his intuition. He defies the common morality. And instead of going down one area of the river, they're supposed to go up another, I forget where that was, the river up to Illinois, and then they go down further south. By making this decision, instead of going to the north where Jim can get free, they go further down south. So that's a very important and beautiful metaphor. A lot of people want to bash it around a little bit for being dated and so forth. It's interesting. All right, let's give Karisma a hand. On Monday.